Hi students, today we are going to look at the topic on inheritance, variation and selection. So inheritance or heredity is essentially passing on genetic information or traits to offspring. So Gregor Mendel was the first scientist whereby he studied peas and proposed the concept of heredity. So a few terms that you will have to know. We all know what DNA is. This is the genetic information in the nucleus. So the DNA is usually in strands and it cannot be seen under a common light microscope until just before cell division. So since you should have done a topic on cell division, then you will understand that the concept of replication itself, and also you have got condensation of the DNA. So when the DNA condenses into very tight forms along with proteins, then that's when you have got chromosomes. So two chromosomes of the same kind is what we call homologous chromosome. So homologous chromosomes, for example, chromosome 1 in a pair have exactly the same sequence of the gene locus or the loci. Loci is just the plural tense for locus. So gene by definition, small segment of DNA in which you have got a specific locus. Later we will take a look at an image or a picture to have a better understanding. So alleles, they have different form of gene occupying the same homologous chromosome itself. So alleles, we can then divide it out into dominant allele, which dominates. So what is the gene is the one that is being portrayed physically. For example, if I have got brown eye parent and a blue eye parent, the brown dog gene is dominant and the offspring, the child, would have higher chances of having brown eyes. Recessive alleles is only when two blue eye parents will have a blue eye offspring. Codominant, it is equally expressed at the same time. So for example, the blood type AB, meaning to say it has got allele A and it has got allele B. So both are expressed equally at the same time in the blood. So homozygote is two identical genes. So both capital T, capital T. This is for dominant. If it is recessive, meaning to say it's only expressed when you got both copies, then it's small t, small t. Heterozygote, so if I got brown eye and the blue eye itself, I do have the genes for the blue eye, but only the brown eye gene is expressed as the phenotype. So phenotype is what you see, but the genotype can be different. These are the genes that are in the body system and may or may not be expressed. So when we look at the chromosomes, I have got a set of homologous chromosomes. So I have got specific gene locus on here. So gene locus P, gene locus A, gene locus B. So all these three are considered to be gene loci in plural tense. So you can see over here, big B, big B. So this can be coding, for example, eye color, hair color. So they are coding for the exact same thing. The dominant allele is represented as a capital letter, while the recessive allele is represented as a small letter itself. Okay, so homozygous will be whereby they are exactly the same. So this is homozygous, same, this is homozygous, but this is heterozygous over here. Okay, so moving down from here, we have got monohybrid inheritance. For Sec 4, we will only do monohybrid inheritance. There will not be a dihybrid inheritance. That's more for JC level. So by now, we know that humans have got 23 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, some additional information, the fruit fly Drosophila only has 4 pairs. So haploid and diploid should be common terms for you all. So we have got complete dominance, incomplete dominance, and codominance. So starting off with codominance over here, both are equally expressed at the same time. Okay, sorry, complete dominance whereby only one is expressed in the phenotype. So that is represented as big B, small b, big B, small b. Okay, so this is your genetic diagram. Make sure you indicate all these components when you are doing it. Over here, you should be adding in one more that is new in syllabus, whereby it says random fertilization. Okay, so fertilization is a random process. If you go back to cell division, whereby I have got independent assortment and I have got crossing over as well. So show the arrows, you must show the arrows. Don't change the symbols, keep it to the circle symbols to represent the gametes. So subsequently, in a complete dominance, whereby I have got heterozygous and heterozygous parents, I will have 3 offsprings that is having your phenotype that is dominant, and I will have one offspring that is portraying the recessive phenotype. Okay, so of course this is for phenotype. Genotypically, or in terms of genotype, I got homozygous dominant, 2 heterozygous dominant, and 1 recessive component, recessive homozygous. Okay, so the ratio that you see is 3:1, but of course not all the times we observe this, especially if it is a small specimen. So the ratio is really based on chance and probability. So which means in order to actually see the 3:1 ratio, Mendel, the founder of genetics, used a huge number of P's. Okay, so this ratio not as easily observed in humans unless it's a huge population. So genetic studies usually go through a huge amount of numbers. So if let's say I have got a brown mice, or I have got a black mice, in this case I got a black guinea pig, so black being a dominant color. Okay, I don't know whether this black guinea pig is a homozygous dominant or this black guinea pig is a heterozygous dominant. So how do I determine it? I backcross it. That means I mate it with a recessive, usually a white color or brown color mouse. So in this case, if it is mated with a recessive, it is mated with a recessive. So 2 scenarios over here. If that particular black guinea pig is a homozygous dominant, then the offsprings will all be black. But if that particular offspring is a heterozygous dominant, then I will have at least some brown. So of course the offsprings will not have a complete 1:1 ratio or half black half brown offspring, because again it is a small sample. So as long as you see at least 1 brown offspring, it means to say that that particular black guinea pig is definitely a heterozygous. Okay, so Punnett square over here, this one you can't use it in the open-ended questions. It's more for a quick reference when you do MCQ questions. So put out the 2 gametes of the offspring, of the parents. So I have the maternal or the paternal, either one, doesn't make a difference. And then you just play it around. So this one should be a big B and a small b. So I will get big B, small b, so on and so forth. Okay, so these are the expected ratio. So it won't always be expected in the same way because of small samples. So if it is homozygous dominant, all the offspring will be dominant trait. Okay, if I got homozygous dominant, same thing, because the dominant, both alleles are dominant, is completely dominant. Okay, if it is heterozygous, I get a 3:1 ratio, which you see over here earlier on this part here, 3:1 ratio. On the other hand, if I have got homozygous recessive and a heterozygous over here, I have got 1:1. So homozygous recessive and heterozygous dominant, I get a 1:1. If both are homozygous recessive, there is no dominant trait since both are recessive. So the offsprings will all show the recessive traits. Okay. Incomplete dominance, whereby I have got intermediate phenotype. So if I got red flowers and I got white flowers, they are co-relating to each other. So which means to say that my offsprings will have phenotype that are in between these two, so you end up with pink flowers. Again, same thing over here, I should be saying a random fertilization type. Okay, codominance, both are equally expressed. So human blood group, we got 3 main alleles. So blood type O is the recessive allele. So if I have got both alleles are A, then I will have A. But if I got homozygous A and heterozygous A and O, I will still end up with A because A is dominant. So B is also dominant, which is why phenotype is B. So this is also why I can have 2 parents, one with blood type A, the other one with blood type O. The other one with blood type B, and the offspring or the child has blood type O. Perfectly alright if both the parents are heterozygous. Okay, if both of them are heterozygous, there's a 25% possibility of the offspring having O blood type. Codominance is equally expressed, so these people will have the AB blood type itself, and O is homozygous recessive, so they will all end up with blood type O.